Hey, what's up, everybody? Today, March the 10th, 2023, was the first of 3 important days in March, in my opinion, when it comes to ultimately what the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell is going to do when he takes that podium on March the 22nd. Is he going to raise interest rates by 25 basis points, or is he going to raise interest rates by 50 basis points? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But today, on March the 10th, 2023, we found out about payrolls, and payrolls are up more than expected, 311,000 versus the expected 225,000. Slightly increased unemployment by 0.2%. Expected number was 3.4%. The actual unemployment number is 3.6%. The key question is, how is the Federal Reserve going to read the numbers that came out today as far as the jobs data? But more importantly, in my opinion, is going to be on March the 14th when the CPI numbers come out. Is inflation going to be hotter than expected, or is inflation going to be cooling off? When you take the job numbers that came out today, that was hotter than expected. And then when the CPI numbers come out, if those are hotter than expected or cooling off, that is going to probably dictate, in my opinion, what the Federal Reserve is going to do, if they're going to raise interest rates by 25 basis points or by 50 basis points. A few days ago, from the recording of this video, Tuesday, March the 7th, silver and gold plunged hard because the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, was testifying in front of a Senate committee, and he stated and alluded to they need to be more aggressive on monetary policy, or maybe even being more hawkish, raising interest rates. So silver and gold, the dollar got stronger on that news, and silver and gold plunged. However, today on March the 10th, given the jobs number that came out today, the dollar's down. I'm currently looking at the DXY. The DXY is currently down 0.82%. The metals markets are all up pretty big today as I record this video. Silver is currently up about 2.5%, or up 51 cents to $20.56. Gold is currently up 1.5%, or up $27.70 to $1,858.60. Now today is Friday, which means silver and gold is either going to finish the week up or it's going to finish the week down. From what I'm seeing right now, it looks like the metals are all going to finish the week up. However, we don't know which way these markets are going to go later in the day. Maybe they read something else into the jobs report that came out today, and possibly it could reverse and go down. That's the thing with the markets. None of us can read the markets. We really don't know which way the markets are going to end up today. But feel free to leave a prediction in the comment section below. Do you think the markets will end the day up, or do you think the markets will end the day down in the red? However, even though I do believe today was a pretty big day because we did receive that jobs number, but I don't think silver and gold necessarily today, silver going up, gold going up, and the dollar going down, I don't think in the grand scheme of things today is a very big day in that standpoint, because it's all going to come back to what is going to happen on March the 14th. Is CPI, is inflation going to be hotter than expected, or are we going to start seeing inflation cool off? And then given that number that comes out on March the 14th, then the key question is going to be, what is Jerome Powell going to do when he announces interest rate increases on March the 22nd? 50 basis points or 25 basis points. And then on March the 23rd, in my opinion, that is going to tell us a lot. What is the dollar going to do? Is the dollar going to get stronger, at least on paper? And are silver and gold going to go up or down from that point? I do believe, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, nothing in this video is financial advice, everything is just my opinion, but I do think if interest rates are increased by 50 basis points, then we're going to see a stronger dollar, at least on paper. And if we get a stronger dollar, then we could see metals, silver, and gold decrease compared to the strength of the dollar. It all comes back to monetary policy and fiscal policy. Like I said earlier in the video, Jerome Powell testified in front of a Senate committee a couple of days ago, which was on March the 7th. If anybody gets the opportunity, I would definitely go and listen to a back and forth between the Senator of Louisiana, John Kennedy, and Jerome Powell. Senator Kennedy asked a few questions, and these were a few of the questions. When Congress spends money, does that stimulate the economy? And he didn't really want to answer that question directly, but he sort of did say, yes, it does. And in my opinion, absolutely. When Congress spends money, it stimulates the economy. The next question he asked was, when Congress borrows money that they do not have, and then therefore spends more money, does that stimulate the economy? And he basically indirectly said, yes, it does. Senator Kennedy then asked, if Congress stops fiscal spending, if Congress stops spending money, would that help the Federal Reserve with their battle against inflation? And indirectly, again, Jerome Powell said yes, it would. Maybe not in the short term, but in the long term, absolutely it would. The next question I thought was the most interesting question that Senator Kennedy asked him, because if we listen to, and I've been speaking about this on my videos quite often when it comes to the Federal Reserve raising interest rates, what Jerome Powell says every single time after he raises interest rates and then he takes that podium, he always talks about softening the labor market, which in my opinion means jobs. It means people either losing their jobs, or it means companies hiring less people, which in my opinion is two of the same thing, even though Jerome Powell, he seems to think it's two different things. But if someone who's looking for a job can't get a job because companies aren't hiring, or if somebody loses their job, it all comes back to less jobs being available. So Senator Kennedy then said, what you are trying to do, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not quoting here, but he basically said, what you are trying to do is you are trying to slow down the economy. And Jerome Powell basically said, again, I'm not exactly quoting, but he said, yes, that's exactly what we're trying to do, slow down the economy. Then the question came from Senator Kennedy, trying to slow down the economy. What you mean is you're trying to put people out of work. And then his response was, it could also mean less jobs being available or less hiring from companies. Again, in my opinion, that is two of the same exact thing. But in my opinion, and as Senator Kennedy said, it comes back to monetary policy and fiscal policy. Congress and the Federal Reserve both need to stop printing money that we do not have. Senator Kennedy later in that day was being interviewed about his back and forth with Jerome Powell. And in that interview, which I found was a bit entertaining, where he said Jerome Powell needs to go to Amazon and buy a spine online and tell Congress to stop spending money. But at the same time, in my opinion, he needs to tell himself to stop spending money, because it all comes back to quantitative easing, which leads to quantitative tightening, which is where we are at right now, and also Congress spending money. As a combination, everybody needs to stop spending money and start being fiscally responsible. Yes, I said it. Congress needs to be fiscally responsible. I know, crazy of me to say, but I said it. Unfortunately, the Federal Reserve can print money without legislation, without Congress, but then Congress passes legislation that gives the Federal Reserve more opportunity to print more money that we do not have. And that, in my opinion, is how we got into this mess in the first place. But let me know your thoughts, your opinions in the comment section below. What do you think is going to happen on March the 22nd? 50 basis points or 25 basis point federal fund rate increase? Let me know in the comment section below your opinion. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll talk to everybody on my next video. Thanks a lot, everyone.